Okay, let's create this Spanish dictionary application. Go ahead and open up your Android Studio. Go to New, Empty Activity, Next. I'm going to call this Spanish Dictionary, like that. And of course, it's going to fill this in for you. Make sure that this is correct. Make sure this is correct. Java and, of course, your API 15 finish. Okay, go ahead and switch over to your activity main and get rid of this. Here, I'm going to drag this over so we have a little more room. Get rid of this. Click on that little hello world text view. Delete him, hit delete on your keyboard to get rid of that. And then under legacy tab down here, I just scrolled up and down. Legacy, there's a list view right there. And once again, we're going to take and anchor that. For size was 0, okay, like that. Take up the whole screen, the whole activity. And also this one down here, like that. And we also have to take and get rid of this here and make that a 0 dp. And make this one a 0 dp. Make sure you don't do O dp because that won't work. 0 dp, like that. And we're going to call this list view in Spanish because we're going to put all of our Spanish words in there just like that. Wonderful. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a place to put our dictionary. But to get our dictionary, you have to go to Blackboard, right there, and you're going to right-click on database access.java, say save link as, and save this to your desktop. Okay, mine's already there, so I'm not going to click save, but you're going to hit save, and then also Spanish DB save link as, and put that on your desktop. Okay, and say save. Mine are on there already. Now what's going to happen? It's going to put them right here. See that? Well, yours are going to show up someplace else, but mine are right here. Now what we have to do is we have to take and make a place to put our database in, okay? I'm going to switch back and I'm going to show you in the instructions here. There we go, right there. We're going to create this right here. We're going to right-click on our Project Explorer in the app, and we're going to select a new folder, an asset folder. Okay. Right-click on App, New Folder, an asset folder right there, okay? Just like that. And just say go ahead and finish. Don't change anything there. And then we're going to open up going to right-click on our asset folder, and we're going to say a new directory this time. Now here you have to call it databases. Just like that. No capital letters and an S at the end. Say OK. Wonderful. Now we can take and slide. Open up this assets. We're going to see our databases in there. We're going to take and slide that database right into that new databases folder. We're going to say let it go and say yes. Go ahead and stick it in there for us. And then also this databases access Java file. If you open up your Java, you're going to see that your main activity resides in this folder right here. We're going to take and drag it into that same folder as our, come on, oh, it's not working right for me right now. There we go. As our main activity is in, so now when we're all done, we can put it in there. If you're messed up, you can hit Control Z and it will back it out for you, okay? And then make sure that it looks just like this. Once we've got that done now, we can look at our code in here. Stretch things around a little bit. And we're going to look at our, if we double click on our database access. Okay, I wrote this piece of code because that actually does a lot of stuff with your database. For those of you that know a little bit of SQL and a little bit of programming, you're going to see a select from, okay? And that's how we get all of our strings, all of our Spanish words and English words out of here. Now you're going to see errors in here because it doesn't know how to use this database base open helper library, okay? Grab this chunk of remark here, okay? This implementation.com, copy that because we're going to open up our Gradle scripts now. The second one that says module app, and you're going to see at the bottom there's some other implementations in here. Let me take and drag that in the screen here like this. Okay. And paste that in there right there, okay? Once that's done, you're going to see this sync now at the top. Go ahead and sync now. And it's going to go out in the internet and you're going to get that library for that. And now if we go back into our database access, you're going to see there's no errors, okay? Make sure that's all working. And now we're ready to move forward. We can use our database to get information out. Go to your main activity. Remember last time how we made some global variables? Like that. It was a list of string type, wasn't it? To hold our state capitals in. This time we're going to call them Spanish. Like that, semicolon. You notice we got to import this. Click on list, Alt Enter, and it takes and imports that for us. Also another list of string type. And we're going to call this English. This is going to hold all the English equivalents to the Spanish words. And I'm going to create one more call of string type. We're going to call that Spanish sorted because I want a sorted list to put in my list view. Okay, and then also we created, what was that? Let's see our list view right there, called list view. And our array list. Where's our array adapter? I'm sorry, array adapter, semicolon, and then also a string to hold the name of our database, okay? String called database name, and it's going to be equal to, we have to make this the same name as this down here. It's in our databases here, right there. That's equal to quotation mark, and it's going to be Spanish, capital S, P-A-N-I-S-H .db. Don't put zip on here because if you put zip on here, it will not work. Evidently, Android just must unzip this for you. I don't understand, but anyway, don't put zip on here. Wonderful. Now let's take and write some code here, okay? Right after your set context right here, let's write some code. First of all, we're going to take and get SQLite database, okay? Okay, we're going to use this database class that I gave you, database access dot, excuse me, we have to create an instance of a database access, and that's going to be equal to a database access dot get instance, okay, of this. We have to tell this application, and then we're going to send it our database name, just like that. Whoop. Semicolon. And so now it's going to open up this database. Of course, we have to tell it to open. Dot open. Like that. Semicolon. Wonderful. Okay, now let's take and assign database values to our lists. Right there, okay. Our Spanish is equal to our database access dot get string. We saw that method in there, didn't we? Okay. Now here we have to tell it words, comma, and then also Spanish. I'm going to show you where that came from. Okay, just like that, semicolon. Make sure that these are typed in correctly. It won't show you an error, it's just that your program will crash, okay? Now, I use this SQLite in the database browser in my other Java classes, and so I'm pretty comfortable with it. If you aren't, you can always look at things to do this week in Blackboard because I show you a bunch of things about how to get more familiar with SQLite and this browser. Once again, in here, it actually shows we have one table. Databases have tables, okay? And it has one table called words. And if we look at the browser, the data browser, we'll actually see it's got 3 fields in it, okay? One's ID, we aren't going to use that, but another one's got Spanish, and then there's also an English. So you have a Spanish word and English equivalent to it. And that's where we're getting these right here, okay? Right here. And so we're also going to do our English, and you probably guessed it already. That's equal to our database access dot get string. Okay, and we want to say, once again, words, because it's from that table. Don't forget that S on the end. I made that mistake already. And here's our English, like that. Wonderful. And we want to take and put our sort. I'm going to grab this one here, Control C, and I'm going to put that right here, Control V. And I'm also going to say our Spanish sorted right there is equal to the Spanish. Now, Android Studio's got a nice little library in it called Collections. I'm going to say sort. Collections right there. Dot. Sort. And what do we want to sort? We want to sort our Spanish sorted right there. And that will sort those in alphabetical order for us. Nice, cool little library tool, okay? And we're going to fill our list view. Okay, first of all, we have to say our list view is equal to a list view. We have to cast as a list view in a find view. Remember, capital R dot ID dot, oh, there it is right there, list view Spanish right there, semicolon. And in our array adapter, let's take and add some stuff to that, is equal to a new array adapter. And then we have to first send it a this, comma, and an Android dot R dot layout dot, and there it is right there, simple list item 1, and then go ahead and put your Spanish right there in there, okay? I'll sort it, put Spanish sorted in there. That's what you want in there, don't we? Semicolon. I'm going to wrap this. You don't have to, but that way you can see it better, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new array adapter is going to be this simple list item 1, and then we're going to take and put our Spanish sorted list into that array adapter. And now we have to take and say, okay, our list view dot set adapter, and of course, oops, oh, I did it wrong. Dot set adapter right there, and of course, it's our array adapter, like that. Wonderful. And now let's create an on-click listener for our list view, okay? To do that, we go list view dot set on-click listener. Right there it is. Hit enter, and a new, and here we have to say a capital A, and it will give us all that stuff when you hit enter. And of course, here we want to take and grab what is the Spanish word that you just clicked, and so let's create a string Spanish word is equal to our list view dot, oh, let's see, get item at position right there, and then we can type in position right there because it gives it to us right here, okay? And then we have to, at the end of that, we have to say dot to string, semicolon. And so now we have that Spanish word that they clicked on, the actual word itself. We're also going to make string English word. And that's going to be equal to, say, nothing for now. Just like that, semicolon. And then we're going to create a little loop here, a for loop. int x is equal to 0, semicolon, x is less than our Spanish word, or Spanish dot size, and then a semicolon, and an x plus plus. And that will loop through all of our Spanish words right there. And now we want to make a string. Excuse me. We're going to say if. Okay. If the current Spanish word, okay, Spanish word dot equals, and then we're going to say Spanish, the whole list dot get, and I'm going to get X from there, okay, get the current X one in there, because this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to look through this whole list, and then curly brace at the end, hit enter, it'll put the other one in for you, and then if it's true, then our English word is equal to English, that list dot get, and X, current one, semicolon, just like that. And now we're going to make a little toast. And that toast is going to follow this curly brace right here. Toast dot make text, and we first of all have to say get the application context, okay, comma, and here we big long string, the word, space, and then we'll say the Spanish word, put that onto there, and then plus, I'm going to wrap this, get messy and off the screen, okay, quotation mark, and then space means space, and then plus, and then the English word right there, just like that. And then we have to add one more thing here yet. I'm going to put that on the next line. Toast dot length long. It tells it how long it's supposed to show, and you get outside of that parenthesis dot show right there, just like that. Wonderful. Go ahead and run it. See what happens. It should run. Wonderful. Mine ran. I hope yours did too. Now we have to take and add our menu item like we did last time, okay? Remember how we did that? We right-clicked on our resources, okay? This right here. Let's right-click on resources and say a new, and then a resource file right there. Make sure you get that one. Okay, and this is going to be called our menu, like that. You're going to drop this down and grab menu right there, just like that, and say OK. Once again, it pops up a little window that looks quite similar to our activity main designer, doesn't it? We're going to take and add one menu item to it, just like this. The ID is going to be menu underscore item underscore and search, like that. The title is going to be search, like that. The icon, if you click right here, type in search, double click on this one right here. The right there, this show action is going to be this always and this collapse action view. What that does is always puts the magnifying glass up here. It's always shown, and also when we start searching, it uses up this whole title bar, which is kind of nice. Apply. And then also, we want to take and add one piece of code. If we go back into our document here, okay, there's that one little line of code right there that we can't set in our properties. We actually have to take and set that inside of the text view here of our menu, okay? I like to put it right here. I'm going to hit enter, paste it right there, okay? And what that does, it says, okay, it is a search view, so now when I code with search view, it understands what that is. Okay, a little bit more code and we'll be done, okay? Scroll all the way down the bottom right here, okay? Hit enter. Slide this over so we got a little, whoop, ooh, cancel. Ooh, I almost did something wrong. There we go, like that. Okay, I'm going to start typing once again. Make sure your cursor's down here, otherwise it won't work. Okay, I'm going to start typing. I'm going to type this in so you can read it. Okay, start typing on create OP. And then you should be able to take right off from there, okay? On create, options menu right there, okay? And it builds that nice little template for you, okay? Wonderful. We have to make sure that we leave this in here. This has got to be the last line. What happens if you leave it at the top line? It'll never run because it returns that and stops the program when it hits return. So make sure you drop that down the line. Okay, now let's create a menu inflator, okay? Menu inflator. Menu inflator. Oh, excuse me, we're just going to call it inflator like that. Is equal to get menu inflator, just like that, semicolon. And then we're going to say our inflator dot inflate. And now what are we going to do? Our r dot menu right there, comma menu. Oh, I'm sorry, dot menu, because we called it menu, okay? Comma. And we're going to say go ahead and open up our menu, just like that, semicolon. Okay, then we're going to say our menu item. We got to grab our menu item. Item, right there it is. We're going to call it item. Is equal to menu dot find item. It's going to be our, let's see, r dot id dot menu item search. There it is, right there. So now we know which one it is. And now we got to say our search view. Create a new instance of search view. We'll call it search view is equal to, and we have to tell it it's a search view right there, and an item IT item dot get action view. Okay, see, that's why we got to set that as an action view. If we don't, then it'll screw up right there. Okay, and we see our search view dot set on query text listener right there. Okay, and you can press enter at this time because it'll build that. Oh no, we have to say a new search view, and then it'll build it for us. There we go. Okay, and remember, we only had to add code to this second one down here, right here. Okay, and here we're going to say array adapter dot get filter dot filter and on new text. Okay, right there, and we get the new text from right there. Okay, it passes that property to us. Okay, wonderful. Go ahead and run it. It should run. Yay, mine ran. If you've got any problems, maybe you can try to figure it out. If you got too big of a problem, give me an email, okay? See ya.